An interesting example I think that we should think about is the recent thing that happened with Candace Owen and Brett Cooper. These are people that I absolutely do not like. But let's think about this for a second. Now, the Daily Wire started off kind of small, but they soon grew, and the people that backed them had big piggy banks. And there were many corporate interests that benefited or liked the narrative that they spit, along with their kind of low effort, quickly produced, but well made content. They were able to grow tremendously fast. Now, on one hand, they leave or got cut from their daily show on the Daily Wire, but on the other hand, their personality still holds. But at the same time, they definitely wouldn't been as big as quick as they would have without the Daily Wire's support. Now they will go out there on their own with the face that people know and trust, their brand, with the money that they've made from the show that they've basically created but also was produced by the Daily Wire. And if they play their cards right and build their own channels and even their own networks or sign with another network, they will probably do well. As we all have come to learn, brands are extremely powerful and they may have made a mistake letting them go. Or the host may have made a really good decision leaving, or a bad one, only time will tell. Now, I'm not saying that if you start a similar channel, hopefully not like theirs, that it's impossible to grow, but it will be significantly harder and slower to find any sort of success if you do, and especially when compared to how quick they grew and how much money it was able to generate. One in a sea of corporate videos, big name YouTubers, reaction channels, and the slop, and probably in that order. Now, an example of someone that I really like is Johnny Harris, an incredible journalist and filmmaker, at least in my opinion, who got his start moving up the ranks at Vox, where years ago he was caught in a similar situation. And making a long story short, he left Vox, started his own YouTube channel with his wife, slowly built a team and business around it, and now is starting a network. The channel was started on his already established personality, and now he's recently been shouting out other channels that are under his umbrella of network, where he helps with the behind the scenes and the business and the producing and all of that. My point is that most of us start from zero, but with Johnny's shout out, his new channel reached 30,000 subscribers before the first video was launched. And although I really like what Johnny is doing, his route to success was much more traditional than, say, the generic YouTuber. Then you take in the fact that old TV networks are actually running on a different algorithm than the rest of us, including the Daily Wire and Johnny as far as I know. YouTube used to be broadcast yourself. Now it has slowly but surely created a hierarchy, which seems familiar. You see, in the beginning it was new, and it hit the big networks by surprise. They just did not see the potential. But for the rest of us it was exciting, and I think if we could go back and think for a second, we probably knew that the future of media was online. At least to the fact that Netflix and other websites that put videos online were the future, and that regular cable and TV would slowly go the way of the dinosaur. What I think surprised everyone, including the people that were doing it hard at the time, is that it marked the beginning of an era where ordinary people making videos on the internet were gonna get a lot of time, attention, respect, money, and power. Even as YouTube grew and Google acquired it and enabled monetization, it still took the wider industry a whole long time to understand that this is where it's at and this is where they should be putting their attention as well. Sort of an even footing at the beginning. Fast forward and you got Fox News, ABC, NBC, CBS, and so on. And as the platform moved on and got bigger, places like Vice, Vox, and every big creator began to make their own companies and networks and people that worked under them, at least if they were into that sort of thing and wanted to capitalize. They got a team of professionals putting out 2 or 3 videos a day. They're well enough researched, well enough written, and well enough edited, well enough filmed. People accept it because they have teams behind them. And they got the power of corporate sponsors. It's kind of hard to compete against. And yes, with exceptions to Vice and Vox, and really even them, these are small companies when compared to the big conglomerates. But capitalism still came in and happened. This is the once platform where people would be looked down upon and unsubscribed from if they weren't doing everything themselves. And now it's slowly become a place just like every other media platform. People writing the scripts, camera crews, and editing bays. Now, I'm not saying that it's all bad, and I think there's still a lot of possibilities. You certainly couldn't post as a regular person on TV, and still anybody can post on YouTube. However, I have noticed that in recent years, the ones that make it from the bottom are usually either what I like to call content recyclers, nicest of terms, reactionary channels, drama types, and the likes, or they just had some serious backing and knowledge prior to diving in. This video isn't some definitive I know everything explanation or some crap like that. Internet media might be evolving to mere traditional, with large networks controlling the narrative, hosts, and the shows themselves. And I'll tell you, if I ever get bigger, I'll probably start a team, because I want my word, I want my beliefs out into the world, and the truth is I just love doing this stuff, and I'll do it anyway, even if there's only 100 viewers. I mean, I was doing it even when I had 10 viewers. Hi, Mom. Of course, this video comes out of a bit of personal frustration. My problem is indecisiveness, a lack of direction, and the wanting to talk about a bunch of different topics that are seemingly unconnected but somehow do make sense together in my mind. Because my overall philosophy is that nobody knows everything. In fact, most people know very little and shouldn't be followed as some sort of unfathomable leader. And you should question everything, no matter what it is. I am a writer, a researcher, and an overall thinker, and though I don't think that everything that's in my Notion or Docs or any other note app is worth making into a video, or even any of the videos that I've halfway made that lay within my Resolve database is worth completing or coming out. But what I am saying is, boo-hoo, poor me, I should do better without any more effort, and fuck you if you think otherwise.